Hey everybody, have you heard about blastomycosis? Could blastomycosis be a zoonotic disease? Well, let's have a look. What is blastomycosis? Well, it's a fungal infection that they say is rare. However, it's spreading across the USA in unexpected places. So here's a few articles I'll put in the description for you to look up. And I'll add some videos to the description. The rise in the rare fungal infection, blastomycosis. There's a lot of information about there. It tells you how it gets into your lungs. It's a microscopic spore that gets into your lungs and causes all kinds of problems. Now, a recent case of blastomycosis has made the news. This man died from blastomycosis. Now, let's listen to part of this video. They talk about how the spores get into your lungs. So, just watch a little bit of this with me.
Most often found in moist soil and decomposing organic matter like rotting wood and leaves. And when the soil or organic matter is disturbed, here's what happens. These tiny spores are released, yet these spores are breathed.
Okay, so he says when the soil or organic matter is disturbed. So it sounds like you kind of have to do a little bit of work to expose yourself to the spores. Because while they are in the air, they basically live down in the moist soil and rotting organic material. Okay, blastomycosis in dogs. What are dogs constantly doing? Disrupting the soil, digging up leaves, kicking, taking a dump on the ground, then kicking the dirt all over the place, digging up the leaves, chasing insects, pretty much doing this. And so blastomycosis is a problem for dogs. They get the spore and then they get sick and they die, or they have other types of symptoms. Here are some of the symptoms: fever, depression, weight loss, loss of appetite, sudden blindness, lameness, other kind of issues. Notice they say, am I at risk of infection from my animal? They don't really give us a solid answer. But if the animal has the spores on its skin and in the dirt that is kicking up, it's bringing that dirt into our human environment. It seems to me like that would be a risk. They do mention strict hygiene, and then they talk about infants or small children and other people that might be immunocompromised. So they're kind of low-key telling us that, yeah, you need to be aware of this. Now, our guy that died from blastomycosis, he was a dog guy. He hugged up on his dog. So do you think that this dog was out there digging around in the leaves, kicking up the spores, getting it on his paws? Yeah, I bet he was. Here's another article. This guy's definitely a dog lover. Do you think he was getting puppy kisses and breathing in the dirt from the top of this dog's head? You think that dog was out there digging around in the leaves and stuff? Yeah, I bet he was. Some of the symptoms that this guy had before they diagnosed him, they sound like symptoms that a lot of other people had. Abscess in your throat or mouth, weakness, fever. It really is pretty sad. Swiss cheese sized holes in your lungs. That's terrible. Here's some more about the symptoms: fever, cough, night sweats, fatigue, weight loss, muscle or joint pain. In rare cases, it spreads to the lungs. So a lot of people complain about these type of symptoms. And they say that this spore is everywhere. It's everywhere in the dirt. So it seems to me like a lot of people could be exposed to this spore and have a bunch of terrible symptoms but never have these lung problems. And these cases are on the rise. Dog ownership is on the rise. The spore comes from the ground and decomposing leaves. And where are dogs always digging in? What are dogs always doing when they're outside? What are they bringing back in? Dirt, decomposed leaves, all kinds of particles on their fur. And then we're hugging up on those dogs just like that guy was. And it kind of sucks because this guy was a chef. And so he's hugging up on his dog that potentially has the spores all over itself. then he's got a beard, and then he goes in and cooks food for people. Those spores, do we know that those spores are not gonna fall on the food and get into other people's mouth? How many people go out to eat and then get sick? And your chef is over there hugging up on a dog, getting puppy kisses, getting saliva and spore particles all up on his beard, and then cooking food for us. Oh boy. So what do you guys think? Was there anything in this guy's life that was digging around in the soil, could have brought spores up into his house? Last but not least, let's have a look at this. This is one of the things that the popular dog culture tells us, that getting a dog will help us with all kinds of health problems. This thing says right here that including dogs and cats taking blood samples, animals that play in the dirt bring diverse microbiomes into the home, some of which kids may breathe and others enter through your skin, touching your furry friends. So they admit that the stuff that dogs bring into our house gets into our body, but they're trying to say that that's good. Go put your dog outside, let him dig up some spores, let him dig in the leaves and dig holes. No, I don't think that's a very good idea. All of these sicknesses that I look up, blastomycosis and other ones, they all affect the lungs, the breathing tubes, and people are breathing these spores in and breathing in dirt from their dogs. Dog ownership is on the rise. This propaganda about breathing dirt via your dogs is on the rise. Yet all of these sicknesses are on the rise. So what can we do to get rid of it? Well, evidently you can't eliminate the fungus. It's ubiquitous, meaning it lives everywhere. So if it lives everywhere, that means your dogs can easily get it and easily bring it into your house. So sounds like another zoonotic disease vector to me. What do you guys think?